everyone, it's Mark here from cloudbyte.co.uk. I'm here with the review of the Logitech G9x mouse. It's the Modern Warfare 3 edition. The only difference is, by the way, between the G9x and the G9x Modern Warfare 3 versions is the logo branding here, the colour, and this mouse mat, this nice cool mouse mat underneath here. Okay, so to start off, let's have a look at the actual mouse itself. You'll notice as well that I've got something else here. This is a different case. I'll explain all that in a second. Okay, so if I have a quick look at the buttons, you've got your normal left click here, you've got your right click, your mouse scroll wheel there, and you've also got two buttons on the side here. On the top here also you'll notice some light and two extra buttons. They are for DPI and profile switching. I'll explain all that to you in just a second. Okay, but firstly the style of this mouse is really nice. It's quite a low profile mouse. You'll notice there it sits quite low on the desktop. That was something I was a little worried about, but I had no need to be. It was actually brilliant. It feels really comfortable in the hand. But let's talk about the grips. Firstly, this one's called the Precision Grip. This one will come attached as default, but I prefer the Precision Grip personally. It is a little grainy, I suppose you could say. Okay, so just there you can see the sort of grain effect on the mouse. It's really nice. It gives extra grip. You can really grip this nice in your hand. Move it about, you feel that you've got full control of the mouse. However, if we click this button on the back, we can pop that one off and pop this one on really simply. There we go. And this one is the smooth grip. Okay, you can see there if I put that up, there's no grain or anything, it's just completely smooth, and that one is really comfortable. I prefer this one for gaming because I just feel that I can grip the mouse really well there, but for normal desktop use I usually swap to this one. I find this one really comfortable. It's nice and soft in your hands and great to use. Okay, so the middle scroll wheel here goes up and down as you would expect, and there is a middle click underneath it as well. Also, this goes up in stages. You can feel each stage 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. You can hear that there, hopefully, in my microphone. However, something that I've never ever seen before is if you turn this over and click this button in, you'll hear a little click, and now it just rolls. Okay, there's no clicking. It's just smooth scrolling. I've had a mouse with smooth scrolling, but not both. And it's so good. That one is ideal for like web surfing and things where you don't want it juddering down in stages. You just want to be able to sort of freely scroll up and down really easily. But then as soon as you want to go perhaps back in a game, you can click that. I use up for knife and down for weapon change, so I need that click to know that I've done that. And you can. So this mouse does both, which is absolutely brilliant. Okay, so other features, of course, are these side buttons. I usually apply a flashbang or something like that on there. And the DPI switch. So, as you can see, at the moment, we'll see a little running man and two lines. That's in the maximum DPI setting. And if we go down, you can see that this is... Oh, let me make sure that's on the screen for you. You can see that, there we go, the DPI is changing as I'm moving this up and down. So that's the lowest DPI now. What does that basically do? Well, when you're moving the mouse like that, you'll notice that your cursor would move really slowly, whereas if you put it on the maximum DPI, it will move really quickly. That's ideal for something like sniping. If you're ever a sniper in a game, you'll spot somebody in your scope, and sometimes you'll find that you can't quite get that accuracy with the mouse. All you need to do is quickly hit down like that, and that will slow the mouse right down for you so that you can get precision and get that headshot. Brilliant. Okay, also you'll notice that this is the colour of like an orangey colour. There is also another button underneath here, and if we click and hold that, you'll notice the little man will start to flash. What this allows us to do is to tab through, and you can see different colours. Well, that's not just changing the colour, it's actually changing profiles. This mouse stores up to 5 profiles on the mouse, which also means that you can move this mouse around without any software, plug it into a friend's PC, and all your profiles will stay on this mouse straight away, so you don't need to install any extra software after that initial installation. So what would the profiles be useful for? Well, different games, different applications. If you're using perhaps Photoshop or something, you might want a certain profile to set up these keys to do certain things. Then when you switch to Modern Warfare 3, you'll perhaps want your flashbangs, etc. Different DPI settings, you can do all that. I'll show you that in the software. And this, like I said, stores up to 5 profiles on here, and you can colour code them so that you know which profile it's in. If you don't want the colour coded, fine, you can have all the same colour, it's up to you. Okay, so another feature with this mouse is weights. I don't know whether you've ever used a weighted mouse. I have before, and they are brilliant. Sometimes you'll get a mouse and you'll find it's too heavy. Sometimes you'll get it's not heavy enough. So what Logitech have done is made this mouse as light as they possibly can. That might not interest some of you, but that is why you can change the weight with the weights provided in the G9x tin. This comes with the mouse, of course. So if we just pop this open, hopefully you can just see there you've got 4 weights of 4 grams and 4 weights of 7 grams. And what you can do, I personally prefer 2 7 grams and 2 4 grams setup. Click the button on the back to change like you were changing the cover. But on the back of here you've got a little drawer. If we click this, oh, that flew out that time, but that'll pop out. We can then get a couple of weights and you can pop these in. Okay, so now I've popped the weights in. As you can see, you'll notice that some of them are completely flat on the bottom. They're the 7 weight ones, and the 4 gram weight ones are open. And all we do is we slide that back in, click, and it's locked in. Pop on our top cover again, like so. And there we go. Now I've completely changed the feel of this mouse. I've really increased its weight. It now digs down more into the mouse mat. I can feel that I'm moving it about a lot more now. Another great feature of this mouse, of course, is this cable. It is braided, so that means no tangles. That's a great feature. A lot more vendors are now putting these features into keyboards, mice, and headsets as well. Anything that usually gets tangled, I love to see this on. So that's a great feature that Logitech have added. Okay, so if we have a quick look at the Logitech software here, we click on the mouse, double click. You'll see basically how this works is it's all based around profiles. So I've got a gaming one, general and productivity. They're the ones built in straight away, and I made the Modern Warfare 3 one. But let's make a new one so that I can show you how to do this. So let's make one for Battlefield 3. And as you can see, it says not stored on the mouse, and you've got all these different settings here. So let's edit them. So basically the onboard memory, how that works is you send this now to the mouse. So let's send that to. You don't have to, by the way. You can have lots of different profiles, but the mouse can actually store 5, and then you can put this into another PC without having to run any of this software and set all these up again, which is great. We can assign it for an application, so I'll just do that quickly. Okay, so as you can see, I've added Battlefield 3. I can also pick the colour that I want to display on the mouse, and you've got lots of different choices, as you can see here. So let's go for a nice blue, and click Apply. Okay, so that was basically the overview settings. We can now go back, and you can change all your buttons. As you can see, you've got lots of different, all the different buttons that you can click here, and we can pick lots of different things to do, and you can do macros as well, and I'll explain that in just a second. Also, this is where this application gets really cool, is you can select the number of DPI levels that you want. You can have up to 5. And as I said before, DPI basically slows down how much the mouse moves. What is extra brilliant with this, though, let's just reduce that to 3 to make it simple to explain, is you can have the X, which is horizontal movement, and Y-axis at completely different speeds. So for instance, we might want to be able to move DPI a little faster across. We might want to actually slow down up and down. So when you're on the 3rd DPI setting, you'll be able to move across at 5,600 DPI. However, you go up and down at 1,100, and you can move these anywhere you want. Great that you can configure those independently of each other. Okay, speed is basically how fast you want to be able to move the mouse pointer, and acceleration is how quickly it picks up the speed. So if you suddenly move the mouse really quickly, it will get to that full speed quicker, depending on how much you move this. And your report rate is basically how many reports is sent to and from the mouse. So that's how much messages basically of movement that is being sent. Make sure you plug the mouse into the computer rather than a USB hub, and then you can have more reports per second. Hubs tend to degrade, that sort of thing. So we'll click apply again. And here's your macro editor. It's pretty much the same as in most Logitech software nowadays. You could even record something with your keyboard and assign it to a mouse click. So like the flanking is right, the flanking is left messages, you could assign all that. So you can basically record all that different things in here. You can record the keyboard and the mouse at the same time. There's lots of cool stuff you can do with this. But basically you just want to play. It depends on what games you're playing and things. Have a good play around with that, and you'll find some really amazing stuff that you can do. So that's pretty much the software overview. Okay guys, so there you have it. That was the review of the Logitech G9x, the Modern Warfare 3 edition. Like I said, both mice are the same, the G9x or the Modern Warfare 3 edition. The only difference, of course, is this branding. You can also get replacement ones of these as well, so if you ever find that they get worn out, you can go on the Logitech parts store and buy them, which is fantastic. I'm not too sure whether you can get the Modern Warfare 3 ones, but you can definitely get the plain ones. Okay, thank you Logitech for sending me this out to review. I absolutely loved it. It was such a shame that I had to send it back, but what I decided to do, because my mouse was broken anyway, is I actually bought one. So that's how much I really love this mouse. This will be my mouse of choice. I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.